Hello, everyone, and welcome. I'm Colleen Vanderzijden, and this is Embracing Your Essence on Lilydale Radio. As you are joining in with me, say hello. Let me know who's here and watching. As you're joining, just say hello. I'd love to see your words in the comments so we can know that we are all connected and also that you're there. So let me know who you are and where you're from. That's always fun to do, isn't it? So as I said, I'm Colleen Vanderzijden, and the name of the show is called Embracing Your Essence. And I called it Embracing Your Essence because it's all about you, who you really are at your soul level, so that you can love yourself and live your happiest, most joyful life ever. So every week on this show, I give you a strategy, a technique, an idea, something that you can apply to help you live your best life. And today's topic is going to be stuck in why. But before I get to that, we are going to just do some of the details that I always have to do. Hi, Denise. Nice to see you. LilydaleAssembly.org is the website for Lilydale. You can find out everything that's happening. We do have summer workshops. No, yes, we do, but we also have winter workshops. We have winter workshops as well. They're online through Zoom, etc. So go there. You can find out what's happening. You can also go to Facebook. Lilydale Assembly Incorporated is the official page, and you can find out things there. That may be more up to date than the website actually, because it's a little easier to update that right now. Hi, Raquel. Nice to see you. And Darlene, thank you for joining me tonight. So in advance, I'll tell you guys that my internet has been insanely bad for the past couple of weeks. So if we have problems, be patient, and hopefully it just keeps working. It's been a little bit crazy. I'm not quite sure what's going on, but I'll be calling them tomorrow. I just didn't have time today to do that. So just be patient in case there are issues. My website, ColleenVanderzijden.com, psychicmediumcolleen.com also works. And I have to tell you that tomorrow is the last day to sign up for the Courageously You group coaching program because we start Thursday. I have one seat left, okay? So if you're thinking about doing it, you might want to take care of that and go onto my website. If you click right on the top of the home page, there's a banner there. You click there, it'll take you to the page. The Courageously You group coaching is a small group. We have 8 people in it normally. I have 7 signed up right now. We have 8 in it normally. And what we will do is we do some different strategies so that no matter what is happening in your life, you have a strategy to be able to handle it. You have a strategy to help you stay true to yourself. So when you have somebody in your life who's a jerk, you know how to disassociate from that energy, detach from the emotions that might be keeping you stuck in pain, stress, irritation, whatever it might be. And anytime something happens in your life, you'll know what to do. You'll be more confident because you'll be living as your courageous self. And when you live as your courageous self, you're actually happier. So that's what the group is all about. So I have 1 seat left. If 2 people wanted to come in, I could do it, but that will be it. So registration does close tomorrow, so you do want to check that out. Hello, everybody. Hi, Kylie. Hi, Ray. Hi, Julie. Hi, Michael. Nice to see you all. And one more thing. Make sure you like my page, Colleen Vanderzijden, Medium and Intuitive Life Coach. I have invited so many people to like my page over the last 2 years or so, and some of my top fans have not even liked my page yet. So I'm getting really close to 3,000. So I'm trying to get over 3,000. So if you haven't liked my page yet, please do so. I would just appreciate that. That would be followers. Okay. Let's see. As we are coming on today, definitely say hello. I always want to hear from you. As you know, I'm a medium and a life coach, and you know I love to share my stories and share some ideas to help you live your best life. As we are talking today, feel free to write comments in the questions in the area here for the comments. Let me try that again. Questions in the comments, and I will answer them as they pop into my feed in front of me. It can pertain to the show, or maybe something grabs you and gets your attention as we're talking. So tonight, we are going to be talking about being stuck in the whys, okay? Why am I experiencing this? Why is this happening to me? Why did I fail at this? Why did this happen? And when we think about these whys, sometimes we get stuck there. We wish we knew the answers, and then we would know how to move forward. So what we're going to do tonight is we're going to talk about just a simple shift. This shouldn't be a long show tonight. We're going to talk about a simple shift, something you can easily do to break that powerless why habit. Because we want to let go of that never-ending story loop. You know how it goes in your head? It's why did this happen? Why is that happening? Why? And we keep going. So that limits our life, and we want to get back to creating the life of our dreams, basically. So our whys could be something very simple. And we could get stuck in anything, not just the big stuff, but we can get stuck in the little stuff, you know? Something simple and relatively unimportant, like why do I have a flat tire? Or why does my foot hurt? Or why did I lose my necklace? And then what happens? We focus on what we don't have, right? We focus on those things, or what's wrong. We're focusing on it. Hi, Renee. Hi, Diane. Thank you all for joining me again. We can direct our whys to other people, implying there's something wrong with them, right? Why are you such a slob? Like they're going to answer you if you ask them that, right? Why don't you stop smoking? Why don't you understand what I want? Or we could have the self directed whys. Why does everything go wrong in my life? Why am I so stupid? Why don't they like me? Why did my husband leave me? Why am I not good enough? We have lots of challenges in life, don't we? So, with these challenges, our immediate response tends to be asking why. But frequently, when we ask why about something, it's usually where we can't change somebody else's behavior or we can't change a physical situation. Something has happened. Asking why doesn't change it. We may or may not have the ability to change that situation. And so when we ask the why, it keeps us stuck in that emotional loop. We go round and round, and that prevents us from moving forward. I was talking to a friend that we're going to call Lynn for privacy's sake, who kept asking why her son died. He overdosed and he had had some mental struggles throughout his life. And what she was doing is she was replaying everything that had happened. She was retelling the story of her perceived failures, how he had made missteps, and everything that had gone wrong. She asked questions like, why didn't I see it coming? Why couldn't I stop it? And of course, the big one here, right? Why did he do it? Why wouldn't he listen to me? Why does my life have to be this way? And as I was talking to her, and it's not just her because I've had other clients and friends who have similar circumstances here and say the same things, right? With every why that she asked, she was getting more upset and more stuck. And she couldn't see a way out of her pain. She didn't know what to do, right? The whys were taking her out of her power. When we have problems, it's easy to get stuck in the why. It's automatic. It's a typical response to anything that isn't going or hasn't gone the way we want it to. And lots of times when we're asking why, of course, it's because we're feeling hurt or sad, scared or disappointed. Something's going on and we're upset about it. Have you ever been in that place where you get stuck in those whys? Something's happening and you keep asking yourself over and over, why did he die? Why did this happen? Why did I get fired? Why this? Why that? The source of our whys is that many of us have picked up this subconscious belief that if we know the reason for something, we'll know how to move forward. Okay, now I know some of you are going, but wait a minute. You're always talking about the reason and you're always talking about we should look and discover and explore and all that. And there is value in exploring the reasons for why things happen. We can think about it, we can go into it and we can discover what we could learn. Maybe we can learn something from it, of course, right? And I talk a lot about different situations, how we can reframe them and change the interpretations so that we can help lessen the emotional charge that we so frequently will have when something's happening in our lives. But for today, our topic is, I didn't want to get off track. You know me, I can get off track very easily. I didn't want to get off track, but for today's topic, we're talking about getting stuck in the whys and how you can make a quick shift to get your power back. Okay, there's a lot we can do to explore what's happening around you, what the interpretation is, why you're feeling this way, and shifting those things. But I'm finding, particularly now in this time we're living in, there's so much happening in our lives that we feel out of control. And we feel that with the uncertainty, we're not sure what to do. We're not sure. We get stuck asking, why is this happening? Why is that happening? Why did that? And we keep going with that. And with each why, we get further and further sucked down. It's like a whirlpool of whys. Ooh, that's a good phrase. A whirlpool of whys where it just takes us down. So for today, what I want to do, and we're going to get to it very, very soon. It's not going to be a long show today unless you guys ask a lot of questions or something, because this is simple, easy. You can do this. Okay, so we're going to get to this. But what I want to make sure you really understand why the whys are there. And it's because you have this unaware belief in there. So we usually get trapped in those whys, in this unaware loop in our minds, thinking we have to know the answer before we can take action. Okay? Unfortunately, yes, Diane's saying the video keeps pausing. So for those of you who are just joining, my internet has been horrible for 2 weeks. And I was gone for a little of that, so I didn't have time to call the internet place and have them fix it. So just be patient, and I'll try to talk slowly so you don't lose too much, maybe, huh? And I will be calling them tomorrow. It is on my list for tomorrow. I don't know what's wrong. I upgraded to a better internet, and ever since then it's been worse. So there you go. Maybe I should change companies. So yes, so sorry about the video pausing. Darlene says the whys happened when my son and my dad died. I had living dreams about both of them, and it was like they sent me in the right direction. Isn't that great? Spirit is amazing. I will say that until I die and get over on the other side myself. Spirit will always get through to let you know. So the whys, when we get trapped in thinking we have to know the answer, and we don't even know we're doing it, okay? We don't know. We don't consciously sit there and go, I want to know why this and this and this and this. It's just a response, automatic response we do. But here's the tricky part, because if we get stuck there thinking we have to know the answer, that's where we're really going to fall down, and we're going to just lose our power, and we're going to just be trapped in there. And even think about this for just a second, little digression sort of. Even if you had an answer to the why, is it going to help? Probably not. It's probably not going to meet our satisfaction. But we keep asking. It's a habit. And it's almost like we're looking for some magical, aha, this is the amazing answer that's going to make me understand it all. And it's unlikely we're going to get that. Okay. Not freezing for a couple people. Good. Okay, good. Then we can blame it on somebody else's internet. Thank you. Crossing our fingers. Okay. So now, what really happens when we get stuck in these whys, this whirlpool of whys that I really like, when we repeat the whys, why is this? What it's doing is putting us in that endless story that causes the problems and the emotions that we're experiencing to become more ingrained. You all know about where we focus on, that's what we're going to get, right? So if we're going, why is this happening? We're obviously focusing on the negative aspects, okay? This is not to minimize grief or anything like that. But you understand that we're just focusing on that, and that's what happens. So it becomes more ingrained. It can also lead us down this path of self-judgment or blame. Oh, it's my fault. I didn't do it right. I'm wrong in some way. It creates more and more feelings of powerlessness and helplessness. And then all that creates more pain, more misery, more sadness, frustration, and irritation, all of those things. And then what happens? Oh my gosh, we then become paralyzed and we can't accept the situation as it is. We just can't accept it. So then what happens is the whys actually move us into this state of paralysis, and we don't take action and move forward. And that's just making this cycle where we become even more powerless as we get going. Personally, I have not thought about whys a whole lot until the last couple of weeks. I was like, I need to talk about whys, Spirit said. So I was like, okay. So when I started thinking about this, and I realized how it's just such a habit, and we do it without thought, and where it can lead us so far away from our power. This is a really profound understanding here on my part to see. And this idea, Diane's acknowledging this, knowing the why may not give us the answer we're looking for, okay? So if somebody is mentally ill, and you're saying, well, why are they mentally ill? What difference does it make? They're mentally ill because they're mentally ill. You can't change them. Knowing that they're mentally ill, what are you going to do, right? What is the why going to do for you? So this, understanding where the whys are coming from, and then how we're going to shift it, which we're going to talk about in about a minute, how to shift that will get you right back in your power. And then later on, you can go back and explore if you want to. You know, now a friend gave me this great analogy. I just love this when he told me this. This helps people understand how the whys affect us and what can happen if we get caught in the whys. And he says, this is great, you're gonna love this, that it's like you're sitting in your house and then you notice the house is on fire. So you ask yourself, why is the house on fire? So you might start to answer yourself, you know, how we go in our little cycle there. Well, you know, maybe there's an electrical short. Maybe I left the stove on. Maybe it's spontaneous combustion. And then you might ask, why is this happening to me? You know, why is this? This is horrible. Why is this happening to me? Why is my house on fire? You might go to, why did I create this? What did I do wrong? Maybe I did something wrong. So now we're in the self-blame part. And you don't do anything. You're sitting in your house. You don't do anything because you don't know the answers. You don't know why your house is on fire. You don't know why this is happening to you. Is there a reason it's happening to you? Maybe it's just happening. So you don't know. So you just keep sitting there and you keep asking why. And you sit there while the house is burning down around you. Then you're like, why are the flames spreading? You know, they're going over here, they're over there. Why is the smoke getting worse? I can hardly breathe. Why is the smoke getting worse? Why are the curtains on fire? And yet you're still sitting there and your house is burning down around you. You're feeling the heat of the flames, and yet you're still going, why is this happening to me? And not doing anything. You're not doing anything. Now, this is great because you can tie this story in with other circumstances when you're stuck in the emotions of a situation, something you don't like, something that's uncomfortable, something that's painful. And you're stuck in that whirlpool of whys. It's like the flames are all around you, spreading all around you, and yet nothing is changing. So really what we have to do, right, is we have to do a pattern interrupt. We have to interrupt the powerless habit of asking why, and instead of asking why, ask, what can I do? Now, if your house is on fire, what can you do? Get out. Just get out. If your house is on fire, knowing why isn't going to help you escape. It doesn't make a difference at that moment why the house is on fire. It's the way it is, and it's time to get out. When we ask, what can I do? You're reclaiming your power. It's a simple shift. And I will give you some examples of how to use this because sometimes people don't know how to shift, how to break that pattern, how to stop saying why, or maybe they can't even come up with what things to do. So I'm going to talk about that a little bit. But what we're doing is we're shifting our perspective away from feeling helpless and stuck, which is where the whys will take us, and instead choose to act in some way. What can I do? I'd love to hear your why stories. If you've had some stories where you got stuck in the whys, and then how did you get unstuck? What did you do to get unstuck? Post them in the comments. We'd love to hear this stuff. So for my friend Lynn, who is struggling with the loss of her son, what can she do? Part of the reason I wanted to talk about that story is because there's so much loss going on right now. There are so many people passing. It's just continual. It's continual every day for one reason or another. It seems like we hear about somebody new who has passed, whether it's family, friends, or celebrities, and yes, has been the past week or so. So part of the reason I want to talk about that is because we do get stuck in the whys. We don't know what to do, so we do get stuck there. So what can we do? So for my friend Lynn, if her house is on fire with grief, how's that for tying that in? What can she do to help her move forward? We want to move into some kind of acceptance of the situation and feel better. We want to feel better. Whys don't help us feel better. When we choose to do something, that will help us feel better. If she's been struggling for some time, something she could do would be, of course, to get grief counseling. It's a wonderful, wonderful thing to do, especially if you're struggling moving forward. We all know that grief has its own timetable, so you've got to give yourself some time to work through things, okay? This is not skipping the emotions. I've talked about that a lot, but I do want to mention it again. This is not skipping the emotions. This isn't saying, oh, I'm not going to deal with it. I'm not going to think about it. I'm just going to move forward. No, you still have to deal with it. And maybe what she needs to do is deal with the emotions. Maybe the why is blocking her ability to deal with them because she's spinning her wheels over here going, why is this? Why is this? Why is this? Rather than going, what can I do? Maybe I can look at my grief. Maybe I can look at my sadness and decide to express it. That might be something she could do. For some people, focusing on the facts can really help. Now, facts are not emotions or opinions, okay? Facts are not emotions or opinions. Saying something like, my life is never going to be happy again, that is not a fact. And it's based in emotions, so no. For Lynn, the facts of her situation is that her son died of an overdose. That's the fact. Another fact is she can't go back in time and save him. I know it's a very harsh reality, but it is what it is, right? Unfortunately and sadly, in order to integrate a loss like this into our lives, we need to move into acceptance, and it does take time, as I previously mentioned. So asking what I can do helps us process the situation so we can move into the acceptance, and then we're back into our power. Bridget, I wish I could get unstuck. Tell me how you're stuck. And if it applies, I can say something. Maybe it'll be helpful. So what else could my friend Lynn do? She might decide to work toward forgiving him for dying. Toward forgiving him for dying. I want to make sure I said that right. Because sometimes when someone dies of an overdose or a suicide, we might have some anger, okay, at them. And so we might blame them for causing our pain, okay? So we might have to work toward forgiving him for making poor choices in his life. She might need to forgive herself to let go of undeserved guilt. Okay, this may be something she can do on her own, or maybe she needs a counselor to help her to let go of that guilt. She might want to. What can she do? She might want to honor him in some way. So she might want to plant a tree or volunteer for an organization that helps people who struggle with addiction. You know, she might want to even write him a letter and tell him how she really feels. Let him know how much she loves him. That's something she can do, okay? She's never going to know why he died. It happened. Death, unfortunately, in a way, is a fact of our physical lives. It is not a fact of our soul lives, but is a fact of our physical lives. Okay? So each situation we have, whether it's something big like that, where we've lost somebody, each situation is personal, or it could be something smaller. So what we choose to do is up to us to decide. So I just gave you some examples, some ideas, some things that somebody might consider. So you have to decide for yourself what you can do. So instead of why, what can you do? I know somebody just said to themselves, but I need to know why. I need to know why. If I knew why, then I could move forward. I'm telling you, you don't have to know the why right now. You don't. Once you break that habit, you get your power coming back. You choose to do the best you can to do something. Okay, it can be shifting your mind. It can be a physical action step. It can be all sorts of things. Once you start doing that, then your power's back. And then if it's possible to know the reason why, then you can backtrack and explore. But not now. No. If you're stuck there, that's keeping you stuck there. If you say to yourself, but I really need to know the why, you don't. You don't. I'm not dismissing how you're feeling. I'm not dismissing that it would be helpful, because I know I have been there too. So I know that. But for now, play with me here and go ahead with this. So we're going to talk about some other scenarios so you can see how you could break the why habit. And because sometimes when we're stuck, it is hard to think about things, what you might do. So let's do a common one these days. You're sick, you know, whether COVID or something else, right? And you might ask yourself, why am I sick? I can't believe I'm sick. Why is this happening to me? Why is this making me miss so much work? Why do I feel so horrible? Why is it not working out for me? Why is that medication not working? Why is that happening? Why? We go on and on and on, right? So what happens is the why can lead you to, did I do something wrong, right? Or why do I have to go through this? And when we go there, it's blocking us from accepting the situation and moving forward. We're stuck. Okay, when we ask the whys, we're in a cycle. So what can you do? You can choose to focus on healing. You can choose to focus on self-care. You can choose to go see a doctor if you need to go see a doctor. You can ask for help from other people. You can choose that. So what can you do? Maybe you can stop beating yourself up over not being able to go to work. Maybe you can say, okay, I can't go. I'm going to accept it. And instead, what I can do is I'm going to sit home and I'm going to binge watch something on Netflix or whatever. Or maybe I'm just going to lie in bed. Whatever it is that you need to do. What this will do is when you ask this why, it moves you into that state of empowerment where you're deciding what's happening in your life. Lots of times the whys are because so much is uncontrollable around us. We can't control necessarily that we've gotten sick. It just happened. Okay, it's not your fault. So it just happened. So when we start to move into that positive direction where you're starting to feel empowered, you've got your power back. Now things don't feel so helpless. You don't feel powerless anymore. Okay, I'm looking at Bridget. My son also died in 2019 of a drug overdose. But after 13 years of addiction, all that goes with that. My adult life is shadowed by the home I grew up in. Divorce, bankruptcy, never getting ahead. You got a lot going on there, don't you, Bridget? My son's death just tipped me over the edge and I haven't been able to come back from it. That's a biggie, okay? That's a biggie. And I keep hearing stories like this where people have so many things that happen. So, in this case, taking what we're talking about today, we want to don't ask why these things are happening. Now, I am going to say something, and it's kind of going off track to my normal route, which is everything that happens to us in our lives is leading us to our soul and who we truly are. That is my belief system. That helps me when I have a situation I don't like or that's unpleasant or painful. That helps me handle those things because I shift how I'm looking at them and I look for how they could be helping me become the best version of myself, how they can help me become my soul, my spiritual being that I truly am. So that's how I do things like this. This does not mean that everything is easy. This does not mean that if somebody dies in my life that I'm like, oh, it's all good, it's just to help me be this and that. No, it's not that at all. I still have all the human emotions that go with our problems. I can still get frustrated. Today I was practicing my violin. I have a concert next week, and some of the music is really hard, and I was getting really, really frustrated with it. I mean, really frustrated. And so I was getting irritated like a human does, right? So I was getting really irritated. So rather than asking myself, why is this so hard? Why can't I play this section? Which I was doing. And then I caught myself and I said, what can I do? And I realized what I needed to do was stop. I needed to stop practicing and I needed to do something else. Okay, so when we have big situations like Bridget has with so many things where we have events and situations that have happened in the past, it's very easy for us to look back at the past and go, why did this happen to me? Why has this ruined my life? Why can't I get ahead? And then to have her son pass, and all, that is a tipping point, right? It's like one more thing. I can't take it anymore. So what I would suggest, and take this as you like, Bridget, because I don't want it to ever sound, anything I ever say, to come across as being dismissive of your experiences, because your experiences are good and challenging, right? And I know you know the value of getting counseling and helping you work through that and everything. What I might suggest you try is to not look at the past. The whys will take you back to the past, but instead, in asking, what can I do? You can start today as though it's a new day. That the past, all your situations in the past, have led you to who you are now. All of those experiences have shown you different aspects of yourself. They've shown you who you are inside. They've shown you your strength that you probably didn't even know you had. They've shown your compassion that you probably have for other people now. There are so many things. So we're going to learn from the past. You can do that. And what we want to do is start the day fresh and go, today is the first day of the rest of my life, and I'm going to make it as good as I can. So what can you do to make each day the best that you can? It might be as simple as setting that intention in the morning to look for joy and peace. It might be as simple as giving yourself some kindness and go, you know what, I'm feeling badly right now, and I'm upset about my son passing, and I'm going to be sad for a minute or two. And I'm going to acknowledge my emotions, and then I'm going to get back to where I am. Okay? So there is a lot of stuff that can happen in life, and we can look at them from different perspectives. There's so many ways to do this. Not to do a sales pitch, because I don't want to do that, but Bridget, you might want to, if you can, check the Courageously Group Coaching Program I talked about at the beginning. The deadline to register is tomorrow. Go to my website, ColleenVanderzijden.com or PsychicMediumColleen.com. Look at the top. There's a place you can click it, take you right to it. It may help you get unstuck. I never want to come across as selling. It's just an opportunity, okay? Because we're going to, in there, what we're doing is we're taking our life situations and we're going to use them to become our courageous self, so that no matter what is happening, we have a strategy to help us be happier. Pat, I don't know if the sound is low for you or everybody. I don't know. I got my mic right here. So we'll see. Okay, I shall get back to my examples here. Okay, I'm going to read what Darlene wrote. Yes, I'm going to repeat that, Darlene, just so other people see it as well. My son died in 2019 also because of addiction. Colleen gave me very good advice about talking to your son and writing letters, even journaling. I didn't go for grief counseling, but maybe something for you to think about. I also put a tribute to my son on Shatterproof website that helped me also. It is very important that when we do have somebody that we've lost, that we do honor them in our own way. So what can we do? to honor them. And I have said this so many times in the last few weeks, but I feel like I have to say it again. I apologize to all of you who are sick of listening to me being repetitive. But spirits, when I talk to spirits, they want you to be happy. They want you to enjoy your life here. They want you to get as much out of life as possible. I have never had a spirit say, oh, stay sad forever. Don't have fun for the rest of your life. Whenever they talk about something like this, it's always, please be happy. Remember how much fun I was. Remember the good parts about me. Go off and live your life. You're going to be seeing me sooner than you can imagine, which doesn't mean you're dying tomorrow. It means that there is no time and things go quickly. So that's another thought for you. Okay, I'll go back to my thoughts. So let's do a nice easy one. Now here's an easy one of somebody you know is rude or condescending, okay? Asking why they're mean to you or why they don't like you is going to keep you stuck. Because as we all know, we can't change another person. So why are they mean? Why are they stuck? Why are they stuck? Why are they stuck being mean? How about that? Why are they rude? All this. We don't know. So what can you do? Now you have lots of choices here. You can choose not to spend time with them. You can. Sometimes people think they don't have that choice. They can't do it. Now, if the person is a colleague or a family member you have to see or something, you can decide ahead of time what your action is going to be. So if they are going to be mean to you or rude to you or condescending, you can think to yourself, okay, what can I do? I can walk away. I can leave the room. I could speak my mind and say, that's rude. Don't talk to me like that. I would never speak to you like that. Why are you speaking to me like that? You can call them on that. Something else you can do, which can be helpful because we can't change other people, is you can choose not to take something personally. You can just say, no, let it roll right off you. You just don't even listen to them. So you can do that, okay? Just because you work with somebody or their family doesn't mean you have to put up with rude or condescending behavior. So asking why they are the way they are is worthless. It doesn't take you anywhere. It doesn't get you anything. If it's best for your own mental health to distance, then you have a choice and you can do that if you want. Now here's another one. Okay, wait, I'm backtracking 2 seconds because somebody made another comment and I need to talk about it because that's what I do. Oh my goodness, I can't keep it to stay there. There it is. Diane saying, I sometimes get stuck in the whys of why my daughter is staying in an abusive marriage and why she is addicted to alcohol and why won't she help herself. I have to remind myself, hold on, it moved on me. I have to remind myself I can't help her until she wants to help herself. Yes. Right? That's very wise, Diane. And it is easy to do. It is very easy to get stuck in the whys of how someone else is, what's going on in their life. Why are they not seeing this? Why don't they understand? And again, we can't change them. We can let them know we're there for them, right? So what can we do? We can let them know we're there for them. We can let them know we love them. We can let them know if they ever want to ask for help, we'll be there. Yes. Oh, so let's see. Here's another one. Oh, this is a good one. Simple one. Here's a simple one for you. Why do I have a flat tire? I can't tell you how many times I have talked to somebody who has gone on and on about having a flat tire. Why is this happening to me? Why am I going to be late for work? Why is this? Why is that? And what ends up happening is they turn this, I have a flat tire, into the universe is out to get me. And my life is horrible. Everything goes wrong. So the why actually led them down another path that totally took their power away, because now they're talking about the universe is out to get them and how horrible their life is. So they've allowed situations, the whys, let's do that. They've allowed the whys of the situation to make it all about them when it's just a situation and it's not personal. Even if something is personal, you don't have to take it personally. You don't have to. Even if they are being mean to you on purpose, you have a choice. What can you do? You can choose not to take it personally. Because when you allow somebody else to affect you, you've given them your power. Keep your power for yourself. Keep it there. So what are you going to do? Something simple like a flat tire. Now, granted, if we're having a rough day, a flat tire can send us off the deep end. But if you have a flat tire, what do? You change it. You move on. You call AAA if you can't change it yourself. Okay, there are a lot of things to do. Life is difficult. We have challenges and situations that are horrible. We have some that are easy, but we're so stressed out sometimes or overwhelmed that the little ones drag us down. Okay? If we can start to recognize that life is the way it is, okay, life is the way it is, we start to move into acceptance, and then we take our power back and decide what we're going to do with it. What can I do? So if you don't get a job, why didn't I get the job? I was perfect for it. I can't believe I didn't get the job. Why don't they like me? Why didn't they see me fitting in there? Okay. Instead, say somebody calls you up and says, I'm sorry you didn't get the job. And you're like, oh, why didn't I get the job? Now what's going to happen is that other person is going to say, well, these are the reasons why you didn't get the job. Now, depending on what they are, it might be helpful because you can use that information as to what to do and how you can move forward. So what can you do? Okay. But it might also not be a good thing to hear the whys, because it might be like a dump on you moment. So why didn't I get the job? You start asking yourself that. Okay. And sometimes it's part of our process. Okay. So I don't want you to think that, even 1 or 10 askings is wrong. Nothing is wrong. But why didn't I get it? Sometimes that helps us, process our emotions. Well, I didn't get it. But if you catch yourself going down that path of I'm horrible, nobody's going to hire me, it was perfect for me, but they didn't see it, and you start making it about you, that's when you want to stop. What can I do? What can you do? Maybe reframe. You could reframe why you didn't get the job. Maybe it wasn't good for you after all. Maybe it was a bad job, which is one of my favorite reframes. If I don't get something I want, what if it would have been a bad situation? It helps me let go of the emotions and move forward. Okay. Some of the magical mind games that are in my book, which will hopefully be out. Oh my God, I don't know when. A month and a half. I don't know, but believe me, I'll let you know. So those are all in my book that'll be coming out, and also in the Courageously You group coaching program. Things to help you reframe. So here's a big one. I got one more to do for you. Why can't I find love? Oh, that's a big one, right? And where does that take us? Right? When you ask yourself this, why can't I find love? Where is it taking you? Taking you down that path where you're not good enough. That's where it's taking you. I'm not good at relationships. I'll never find anybody. I'm not good enough. I must be doing something wrong. I'm probably not nice enough. I'm probably this. I'm probably that. And we start to make it all about us again. Okay? So why can't I find love? Change it to, what can I do? So what can you do? Okay, are you being the best version of you? Are you being your authentic, genuine self? Good. That's what you need to do. That's all you need to do. Be your best version of you. Do the best you can to be you. When you do that, the right person will come to you. It's about guaranteed. Okay? Long as you're open for it. Now, the wise can set up a wall and block you from being open. So if you start catching yourself in that little trap there, just ask, what can I do? Okay? When you notice, so what we're doing here, when you notice you're stuck in the why, you'll know you're there because everything keeps going in a cycle. You keep feeling badly. Okay, you'll have bad emotions. You feel like you're not getting anywhere. You'll notice you're focused on what you don't want instead of what you do want. You're focused on what you don't want. So when you notice the whys are taking you there, focused on yourself, you're taking something personally, has nothing to do with you, you're talking badly about yourself, anything like that, do the pattern interrupt. A pattern interrupt is when we have a habit and we make an intentional choice to interrupt it, to change it, to make a different choice. So what we do is we ask that question, what can I do? See how simple this is? This could have been a 30-second show, 30 seconds, but no, I had to explain it because you know me. So this is such a powerful shift. So simple and so powerful. Anyone can do it. So because it is simple, sometimes people say, well, it won't work for me. It's not going to work. No, it's just not. It's too simple. It's not going to work. Nope, that's stupid. I'm not doing it. If I had, I'll say a penny, for every time somebody said to me, that's not going to work, it's too easy, it's too simple, I would be a jillionaire. I totally would be a jillionaire by now. The simple things are what create the most profound difference. the simple things. Notice the why, change it. What can I do? What can I do? Get you back in your power. Even if you think you have to come up with the perfect thing to do, you don't. You have to just take one step, one small, simple step. And it may just be asking the universe to guide you. What should my next step be? And being open to that. Maybe it's shifting your perspective and going, you know what? That was really horrible, that situation. I did not like it. It really ruined my life for a year there or whatever. But from now on, I'm going to look for the good in my life. I'm going to start counting my blessings. If you're having a rough time, count your blessings. What's going well in your life? Simple shift makes a big difference. What can I do? Get you back in your power. You need to be in your power. We don't want to be stuck. Okay, so when you get back in your power, you start to accept that life is the way it is. And sometimes it's really crappy. Okay, you start to accept it, but you're choosing to do the best you can with the situation you have. Sometimes that is asking for other people to help you. Sometimes it is getting a counselor. Sometimes it is taking a class someplace. And I'm not advertising mine. I'm talking about any class that inspires you, something that would lift you up so that you can be the best version of you. Asking what you can do is regaining control. Instead of being stuck, feeling like life is out of control and you don't know what to do, you open your mind up and you say, no, I'm going to figure out something to do. I'm going to make a choice. I'm going to do something. And when you make these choices, you go forward. You will move forward. Now, I do want to mention, because I'm always talking about how you can learn from your situations, that there is something within each situation that can help you be the best version of you. That is for a different day. We're not going to go into that today, but I know some of you are like, wait, I know you're always talking about this, and I do always talk about this, but not tonight. Tonight, I'm just sticking with one topic for a change, pretty much anyway. I'm sticking right here for one thing. Stop asking why and ask, what can you do? You don't want to be stuck in a fire where your whole house is burning down around you and you're sitting there in the house as it's disintegrating, asking why, when you can simply make a choice and do something else. Okay, that is what I was talking about tonight. So questions. Okay, I'm looking to see if I missed any comments because, every now and then. Okay, it looks good here. Yeah, it's so easy for us to get stuck. And my wonderful assistant said something the other day, and I don't know if I'm going to say it right, but she said something about how the whole world is on the edge of a breakdown, a mental breakdown or something like that. And I did write it down, and she'll tell me what she really said if I get it totally wrong. But the world right now is off the charts, right? It's off the charts. So it's very important for us to take these simple action steps and recognize that we have the power to feel better, even though things around us are falling apart. And sometimes feeling better is making that gratitude list. It is looking for the flower or looking at the beauty of the snow, though here in Lilydale it's 8 degrees. So not so beauty to me, but we have the power to do that. And this will help you do that. Okay, so what else do I have to tell you? Oh, Lilydale. There are workshops happening on weekends, I believe. If you go to Lilydale Assembly Incorporated on Facebook, you will find information there about what's happening. And please like my page. I'm really close to 3,000 followers, so I'm trying to get people to get close up there. And I've invited so many people. Some of my top fans I've invited, and they haven't yet liked my page yet. And I thought, wouldn't that be fun if they did that and help me get up there? My book is Final Proof is coming to me, finally. Final proof is coming to me, and I will take a picture when I get the final proof, and then we just have to do the ebook version, and then it will be out shortly after that. So not too long, but it's coming. It's called, for those of you who don't know, Courageously You, Magical Mind Games to Get Unstuck and Reignite Your Joy. I'm always talking about getting out of feeling stuck, it seems like, right? So that's coming soon, and I will tell you about it. Thank you, Ray. Nice to see you. And I think that is all I have to say. So ColleenVanderzijden.org. If you are thinking about joining the coaching group, I recommend you do that soon because I only have one seat left, maybe two if I push it for you. If you've ever thought about doing coaching, this is an amazing deal. The price is beyond amazing. So check it out if you want to. If you don't, that's cool. Next summer, I will be teaching 4 workshops. I will be teaching here in Lilydale. Let me see if I can get it right. Navigating the New Reality After Loss, which is a grief workshop. How to integrate grief into your life. It can be the loss of a person, a job, a relationship, any of those things where you might have a loss. The Empowered Empath, that's for those of us who are sensitives, and how to handle that sensitivity and not get caught up in other people's energies. Reimagine Your Life. It's a short workshop, 3 hours long. Basically some strategies to help you do your life. I will also be doing an in-person retreat in June called Reimagine Your Life. It's in the beginning of June. We'll be in person here in Casadega, really close to Lilydale. And we are going to be having so much fun in that retreat. As we get closer, I'll tell you about that. But that will be in person. And it's all about creating your desired dream life and how to go about doing it. Then I'm teaching, what else am I teaching? I can't remember the other one. Whatever, I'm sure it's good. So anyway, those are on my website, so ColleenVanderzijden.com. If you go to the events page, you'll see my workshops that are coming up. And I do believe that is all. Okay, so I will stop talking. Oh, look, I talked longer than I thought I was going to talk. Yeah, the empath class is fun, Diane. I had a great time with that last time. Okay, you guys have a wonderful week, and I will not see you next week because I have an Erie Philharmonic rehearsal where I'll be practicing those pieces that I'm having struggles with right now. But it's okay. I'm going to keep practicing. Okay, you guys have a great week, and I will see you in a couple weeks. Have fun. Bye.